Part 4. Fantasy, I Robbed Millions of Saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 31. Kingyun Saint Gu Kingxiu. It turned out to be her, the proud daughter of heaven who was born with an immortal spirit body. No wonder she is so beautiful and has such extraordinary temperament. I said that she looked familiar just now. I had seen her from a distance before. Kingyun Saint is with him, and he said it was not Kingyun Holy Land who came to provoke her. But something is wrong. Who is this kid? Holy Son Kingyun is not him. I don't know, I've never heard of it. In addition to the Holy Son and the Holy Girl, Kingyun Holy Land also has such a young alchemy realm. A group of disciples of the Scarlet Demon sect were in an uproar when they heard that concubine Murong revealed Gu Kingxiu's identity. They were very confused. What was going on? Where did that guy come from? Could it be Kingyun Holy Land? Asked for help? But on the side of Kingyun Holy Land, everyone was more embarrassed than the other at this time. The saint is right. But now she no longer belongs to our Kingyun Holy Land. Even our Holy Land is now being severely affected by this. Is it okay if people empty their pockets? Forget about being a wife, being a little slave girl is okay. She is the little slave girl I just snatched from Kingyun Holy Land. Isn't it because she is a little lonely, so she is planning to snatch you over to be her companion? Qin Changsheng said with a chuckle. As he spoke, he had already stepped out and started to walk towards concubine Murong. Since the little goblin had come out, he naturally wanted to grab it first. Arrogant, so arrogant, he actually wants our saint to be his little slave girl. How audacious! And this guy wants two more, and he said that Saint Kingyun is already his little slave girl. I really can't help but laugh. Two saints becoming little slave girls, I never dared to think about it in my wildest dreams. She must be talking nonsense. Would he dare to ask the saint of Kingyun Holy Land to be his little slave girl? The group of peak masters from Kingyun Holy Land behind you, do you think we can't see them? I feel that this must be the conspiracy of Kingyun Holy Land. These self-proclaimed righteous guys are the most cunning. Saint, be careful, this guy must be trying to hold you hostage and threaten our demon sect. The disciples of the Kilian demon sect didn't believe Qin Changsheng's words at all. They thought that Qin Changsheng and Kingyun Holy Land had some conspiracy. However, concubine Murong didn't take it seriously. After listening to Qin Changsheng's words, there was a hint of surprise in her beautiful eyes. Did you steal Sister Gu Kingxiu? He, it seems quite fun. I once thought that if I were a man, I would definitely grab a few saints as my followers, especially noble and cold saints like Sister Kingxiu, which would be more interesting. Does the young master also want to snatch someone away? Okay, I'm very willing. Murong concubine said excitedly, with a look of expectation on her face. While speaking, Murong concubine turned out to be serious and walked towards Qin Changsheng step by step. This operation made Qin Changsheng a little confused. Oh. Is there such a good thing? It's obviously impossible. What kind of medicine is this little witch selling in the gourd? But no matter what, Qin Changsheng is bound to get this little witch. Even if this little witch is really no matter what trump card they have, they can't stop Qin Changsheng. Step by step, the two of them walked towards each other, getting closer and closer. Young master, what's your name? People don't know it yet. Halfway through, concubine Murong suddenly asked. My name is Qin Changsheng. From now on, when you become my little slave girl, just call me young master. And you, just call me young master from now on. Qin Changsheng said, and turned to Gu Kingxiu to give instructions, which made Gu Kingxiu couldn't help but curse. How long has it been, and you still have the heart to say this? Are you really going to arrange for me to be a little slave girl? Gu Kingxiu was speechless, and her thoughts were in a mess. As for the others, Looking at Qin Changsheng and Murong Fei, they were even more speechless. What are these two people doing? One said he wanted to snatch her over, and make her a little slave girl. The other one, actually came up with an idea. And they were still talking and laughing, taking the initiative to walk towards each other. Seeing the figures of the two people getting closer and closer. In the end, there was only a dozen feet of distance left. Everyone held their breath and stared at the two people. This distance is already very close for the Danyuan realm. And at this moment, concubine Murong suddenly smiled. At this moment, a sentence seemed to flash through everyone's mind involuntarily. A smile can captivate a city, another smile can captivate a country can captivate a city, that's all. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 32. Concubine Murong was extremely beautiful to begin with. This beautiful smile turned all sentient beings upside down and captivated the country. It seemed that everything around them was eclipsed. There was only the smile in the world, lighting up all the wonderful things. Especially Murong concubine's big eyes, when she smiles, they are extra beautiful and charming. It makes everyone so far apart feel trapped in it and unable to extricate themselves. However, when everyone woke up, they found that Murong Fei's smile had changed. Although she was still smiling at Qin Changsheng, but there was a hint of pride and contempt in her smile. The next moment, the true energy around concubine Murong suddenly burst out. The red dress she wore turned into a fiery red armor, which was covered with mysterious lines. Each line was composed of flame aura. There is also a phantom of a fire unicorn, which is also slowly condensing around her body. From the beginning, it is looming, and finally it is solid and lifelike. With a gentle wave of her hand, she sacrificed a red silk ribbon on concubine Murong's arm. In mid-air, the fire unicorn opened its mouth and spewed out a stream of unicorn holy fire, igniting the red silk ribbon. Then, the whole body was covered with flames. The red ribbon split into tens of thousands, and sealed Qin Changsheng's entire body. Including underground, the extremely hard black stone mountain, in front of the red ribbons, is like tofu, moving back and forth at will. Even the stones left red flames wherever they passed, showing how powerful the Kirin holy fire was. After doing all this, concubine Murong breathed a sigh of relief, and the smile on her face was even more proud, as if she had won. Because during this process, Qin Changsheng stood there without moving, his eyes staring at the direction where concubine Murong was just now with his eyes somewhat absent-mindedly. The saint took action. I knew that the saint would definitely take her by surprise and strike with all her strength. First, he used the 6th grade combat skill Red Sea Tongxinchu to disrupt the guy's soul sea, then stimulated the power of his bloodline, and then used the 8th grade combat skill Red Sea Boundless. This set was simple and neat. Saint good means. That's right, the saint's fire unicorn bloodline is extremely powerful. In addition, her weapon is the 9-star spiritual weapon Luo Hongling. The red dress on her body is also the 9-star spiritual weapon Luo armor. With the blessing of many parties, she is stronger than ever. Strengthen. This kid really doesn't know how high the sky is and how high it is. The saint's combat power is unparalleled. Even in a normal fight, she can cross 2 or 3 realms with all her strength, and if the opponent is a man, even if he is a strong man in the 9th level of Danyuan realm, as long as he is hit by red training psychic technique, and being tied up by the 9-star spiritual weapon Luo Hongling is also a dead end. It is obvious that this guy has been fascinated by the saint, and he has no idea what sweet dreams he is waiting for to die. A group of disciples from the Scarlet Demon sect finally breathed a sigh of relief when they saw Qin Changsheng, the god of killing, was trapped, and cheered loudly. But the disciples at Qingyun Holy Land did not speak, and their mood was extremely complicated. They also thought that if Qin Changsheng could rob the Qingyun Holy Land, it shouldn't be a problem for the Red Lian demon sect, so they came to see the fun. But after seeing Murong Feier's methods just now, they were also a little suspicious of Qin immortality. Because concubine Murong is so beautiful, and her charm skills are too unexpected. The combination of the two, I am afraid that no man can resist. There are hundreds of people separated by Zhangjiang away, they all had been in a daze for a long time. Not to mention Qin Changsheng, who was really attacked by the charm technique, and the distance was so close, one can imagine the impact. Careful! Gu Qingxiu was behind and suddenly couldn't help but scolded him. She didn't know what was wrong, subconsciously, she just wanted to remind this guy. Sister Qingxiu, it's useless. After being hit by my Qi Lian psychic technique, it would take a stick of incense for an ordinary man to regain his soul. Besides, wasn't Sister Qingxiu kidnapped by him? Why do you still want to remind him? Could it be that, the kidnapping is fake, but the love affair is real? Murong Feier said to Gu Qingxiu with a smile. When Gu Qingxiu heard this, her face instantly turned red and she was speechless. She really didn't know why she subconsciously reminded this bad guy just now. But now, this is not the time to care about these things. Looking at concubine Murong's confident look, Gu Qingxiu's mood has sunk to the bottom. Is that guy really going to be captured by her? This time of talking is all over the sky. Li Huo Hongling has wrapped Qin Changsheng tightly from head to toe. It is like a huge fiery red silkworm cocoon. The flames are rising all over the body, and the air is full of burning smell. The little slave girl is so dishonest, she will be spanked. Qin Changsheng's voice suddenly came from the cocoon. Everyone looked stunned. This guy is actually awake? Gu Qingxiu's expression couldn't help but reveal a hint of joy. And at this time, boom! The fiery red silkworm cocoon suddenly burst open. Qin Changsheng floated out from inside, without any damage on his body. In his hand, he held a palm-sized palace. The surrounding Kailan holy fire is being sucked by the palace. The disciples of the Scarlet Lian demon sect don't know what it is. But everyone in Qingyun Holy Land is very familiar with it. Isn't that the demonic temple of Ningtianxiao, the master of Crazy Blade Peak? Not long after you grabbed the stuff, you started using it? Taking a closer look, everyone in Qingyun Holy Land, especially Ningtianxiao himself, discovered something was wrong. That demonic temple was originally very dilapidated. Now, it seems a bit more complete than before. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 33. No. This is impossible. Didn't he fall into the saint's Killian telepathic spell? How could he wake up so quickly? What is even more incomprehensible to me is that he was wrapped in the Saintess Luo Hongling and the Kailan holy fire. How could he not be injured? What is that thing in that guy's hand? How could a broken palace be able to absorb the Kailan holy fire? SHHH, this guy is awake, let's keep our voices down. Otherwise, if we anger this god of death, we will die if we disagree. The disciples of the Killian demon sect were shocked beyond belief when they saw Qin Changsheng rushing out intact. But as they spoke, everyone's voices became quieter. Just now Qin Changsheng had a thought. The brutal scene of blasting more than a dozen demon sect disciples was still fresh in their memory. Just now they thought Qin Changsheng was confused, so they dared to act recklessly, but now they succumbed again. However, Qin Changsheng has no intention of taking care of them now. He had known a long time ago that there was definitely something wrong with this little goblin, so he was not confused at all. Ordinary men may be afraid of concubine Murong's magic. But Qin Changsheng is definitely the one who is least afraid. The first point is that he was a human in 2 lives. When he traveled across time, the soul sea in the Zifu Lingtai seemed to have changed, and it was much stronger than the soul sea of ordinary people. The second point is that Qin Changsheng practiced musical warfare. Technique has the same effect as the charm technique, and the resistance of the soul sea is stronger than ordinary people. This is also the reason why the old man noticed him at the foot of the mountain. Qin Changsheng was thinking just now, pretending to be confused. He stopped, and then took the opportunity to take down Murong Concubine. But, at the moment Murong Concubine was about to take action, Qin Changsheng changed his mind again. Because the system suddenly sent a prompt message. Murong Concubine's fire Kylin bloodline, so the Kylin holy fire that can be stimulated, can be used as a kind of energy to repair the demonic temple. After what happened before, Qin Changsheng still cares about this demonic temple. There are so many good things in the Qingyun Holy Land, but this is the only one that can enter the system. With his magical eyes, we can see its specialness. Now that it can be repaired to 10%, Qin Changsheng will naturally not miss this opportunity. Therefore, Qin Changsheng continued to pretend to be confused and allowed concubine Murong to attack, ready to try the effect. As expected, after the demonic temple absorbed Murong Feir's Kirin holy fire, it became more complete than before, which made Qin Changsheng very satisfied. You, what kind of cultivation level are you? How could it be possible to block my Qi Lian Tongxin technique and my Liwo Hongling? At this time, concubine Murong looked frightened and surprised when she saw the intact Qin Changsheng. As for the fact that Qin Changsheng just said that he wanted to spank her, she had no intention of paying attention to it. Want to know? I'll tell you when I'm done spanking you. Qin Changsheng said with a chuckle. He has not forgotten this matter. While speaking, the 6th grade combat skill flowing cloud body technique was launched. Qin Changsheng turned into a shocking giant and rushed towards concubine Murong in front of him. Fly away. He is no longer prepared to delay any longer, he wants to grab concubine Murong first. Ah, no. Seeing Qin Changsheng flying towards him, concubine Murong was so frightened that her face turned pale. She had known just now that Qin Changsheng's cultivation level was higher than that of Elder Black Widow. But she was extremely confident in her charm skills and the power of her bloodline, so she felt confident and prepared to try to capture Qin Changsheng. But now, with all the means I tried, I couldn't do anything to this guy, which made Murong Feir completely panic. The 8th level combat skill floating traceless body technique was launched. Concubine Murong's figure instantly split into several after-images, and she fled towards the mountain gate in a hurry, completely losing her weirdness, calmness just now. Your agility is good, but can you run? Qin Changsheng chuckled while chasing after him. This girl's body and combat skills are indeed of a higher level than his own, and she has also cultivated them to a perfect state. But the gap in cultivation is too big. It's these things irreparable. Elder, help. Seeing that she was about to be overtaken, Murong Feir shouted for help. Qin Changsheng didn't pay attention at all. At such a close distance, even if all the elders of the 8th level of Danyuan realm in the Scarlet Lian demon sect came out, they would definitely be able to block it. He couldn't be restrained, let alone a Black Widow from the 6th level of the Danyuan realm. However, at the moment when Qin Changsheng was about to capture concubine Murong, a sudden change occurred. Only a black demonic shadow was seen, as if it was like teleporting, flying out of the mountain gate of the Scarlet Demon sect. 1 second, he was still at the entrance of the mountain gate. The next moment, he was already in front of Qin Changsheng and Murong Feir. At the same time, a ball of black magic flame condensed into a huge palm print, and slapped it fiercely towards Qin Changsheng. Qin Changsheng did not dare to neglect, and also condensed a spiritual energy palm print, blocking it in front of him. Boom! The black magic flame palm prints collided with the light blue aura palm prints, the demon flames and auras all over the sky exploded in mid-air like fireworks. The huge explosion shook everyone's eardrums. Many monks in the body-tempering realm with low cultivation level were shocked by the sound, causing their mouths and noses to bleed. Even the earth was shaken slightly by the explosion. Qin Changsheng and the black demonic figure each retreated more than 10 feet before they stopped. Then, the two of them said something in unison. Danyuan realm, complete. It's just that when the black demonic figure said this, his tone was full of shock. And when Qin Changsheng said this, in addition to some surprise in his tone, there was also full of expectation and a feeling of eagerness to try. It seemed like he was very satisfied with this opponent who suddenly appeared. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 34. The alchemy realm is complete. Both of them are at the alchemy realm perfection. That is the saint protector arranged by the sect master, the demon soul elder. Didn't it mean that the demon soul elder's cultivation level was only at the 8th level of Danyuan realm? How, it will be the perfection of the Danyuan realm? It must have been specially arranged by the sect master for the sake of safety. The demon soul elder has always been mysterious and has never disclosed his cultivation to the outside world. The alchemy realm is perfect. This means that being able to attack the Qi realm, and having a high chance of success, oh my god, this is a realm that I can't even imagine. What I can't believe even more is, that god of killing is also the perfection of the alchemy realm. How is it possible? The demon soul elder is almost 50 years old, and he is 20 at most. I couldn't believe it either. I thought he was only 2 or 3 heavens higher than Elder Black Widow, at most the 9th heaven of the Danyuan realm. Did not expect. The judgment of the two of them should not be wrong. A duel between two powerful men who have reached the perfect Danyuan realm. This time, it seems to be a bit exciting. The disciples of the Kilian demon sect looked at the two figures in the field and couldn't help but comment. After all, the perfection of the Danyuan realm is too rare. 100 at most, only one monk from the 9th level of Danyuan realm can enter the realm of perfection and impact the Sea of Qi. And once he enters the state, with the help of heavenly materials and earthly treasures, he will have a great chance of entering the Sea of Qi realm. In other words, the two people in front of them are both quasi-Qi realm bosses, so how can they not be shocked? As for Qingyun Holy Land, a group of people at this time, you look at me, I look at you, their expressions were complicated. They originally thought that Qin Changsheng was only at the 9th level of the Danyuan realm, and did not dare to think about the perfection of the Danyuan realm. Only now did they realize that they and others had just lost well. However, their moods also we have sunk to the bottom again. The saint of the Scarlet Lian demon sect actually has a perfect protector of the Danyuan realm. Can this guy still be able to handle it? They came here to watch the excitement. If the Scarlet Lian demon sect didn't being looted, people like them will feel very uncomfortable. After their Qingyun Holy Land, the Scarlet Lian demon sect will probably also feel very uncomfortable being suppressed. Looking at the figure in front of him, completely covered in a black robe, with only a pair of eyes exposed, Qin Changshen's expression remained as usual. Even these eyes, when they looked at Qin Changsheng, they were emitting a faint blue light, like a wild beast that regarded Qin Changsheng as its prey, which was extremely scary. Name, Zhou Xingai, Demon Soul. Bloodline, Bloodline of the Golden-Winged Bat King. Realm, Danyuan Realm, Perfection. Combat Skills, 8th Level Combat Skill, Jinghong Tiaoshu, Perfection, 8th Level Combat Skill, Demonic Flame 10,000 Miles, Perfection, 8th Level Combat Skill, After Image is Like a Dream, Perfection, 8th Level Combat Skill, Golden Body Sacrifice, Perfection. In my mind, the system has detected the attributes of this demon soul elder. Seeing a series of 8th level combat skills and the word perfection behind them, Qin Changshen was a little excited. This is definitely a formidable enemy. However, Qin Changshen is still looking forward to such an enemy. He is worried that no one can give him a try to see what stage his combat power is. It was really easy for those in the 8th level of the alchemy realm of Qingyun Holy Land to fight before. And if everyone in Qingyun Holy Land knew Qin Changshen's idea, they would be so angry that they would vomit blood. We have all been beaten to death by you, so don't add insult to injury, okay? It is really not easy to be able to cultivate to the perfection of alchemy realm at such a young age. You just retreat, or you join me, the Scarlet Demon Sect. I can guarantee that you will never regret what happened today. In the black robe, the voice of the demon soul elder came out, a bit sharp and harsh, like the neighing of a bat. Fortunately, it was the blood of the golden-winged Bat King. But what he said made Qin Changshen laugh. This guy actually wanted to let me leave, and even wanted to recruit me into the Red Lian demon sect. I said, how come you, a demonic monk with a perfect Danyuan realm, don't have the slightest bit of professionalism as a demonic monk? It's not too fierce. I've even come to your door to rob your saintess and loot your section. You actually want to let me go? Shouldn't it be a fight or die situation? Qin Changshen said with a chuckle. As soon as he said these words, the disciples of Qilian Demon Sect and Qingyun Holy Land were almost wiped out. What the hell is the professionalism of demon monks? They have the entire sect behind them. I want to let you go with good intentions. You actually think that someone is not ferocious enough? What kind of operation is this? But then again, compared with you, it seems that he is not ferocious enough. You are more like a demon cultivator. He is a demon cultivator. Young master, you are really an interesting person. If you can defeat my protector, I will be your little slave girl. He, come on. Murong concubine, who was hiding behind the demon soul, couldn't help laughing when she heard Qin Changshen's words, and said with joy. She completely forgot that just now, she was being chased like a panicked deer. As for Gu Qingxiu, there was still chaos in the inner lake. Just now Qin Changshen was in danger, and she was very worried about him. Now that she found that this guy was unharmed, she was relieved. But such a change in mood made her unable to stand for a long time. Calm. She couldn't figure out what was wrong with her, to be worried about this guy who hijacked her. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 35. Boy, you are interesting. Since you are bent on fighting, don't blame me for being rude. After hearing Qin Changshen's words, the demon soul elder was stunned for a moment and sneered solemnly. The next moment, the demon soul elder's entire body instantly turned into a demonic shadow and disappeared from the place, until he appeared again. Already not far in front of Qin Changshen. A bone-like palm poked out from the black robe. Black demonic energy lingered on it, grabbing Qin Changshen's throat. As quiet as a dead pig, but as active as a mad dog, I'll do a sneak attack if I ask for a sneak attack. This makes him look a bit like a demonic monk. Faced with the instant sneak attack by the demon soul elder, Qin Changshen was still able to calm down and made a comment. Everyone was speechless again after hearing Qin Changshen's comment. Especially the disciples of the Qilian demon sect, one by one, they were furious. Jumping feet. Our demon soul elder's 8th grade combat skill, Jinghong Tranquil technique, was described by you as being as still as a dead pig and as active as a mad dog. You really know how to use words. However, Qin Changshen is here while he was talking, he was not idle at all. The Genkai all over his body exploded, allowing Qin Changshen to bathe in the spiritual light and punch out with the same force. Bang bang bang. In one breath, the two of them fought each other countless times. From the ground to mid-air, Two figures, one lingering with black demonic energy and the other bathed in holy light, were constantly entangled and changing positions, dazzling everyone. Hand-to-hand combat with such a powerful person is extremely dangerous. If you accidentally get hit, you may be in danger. Boom! There was the sound of a fist hitting flesh. The two figures finally separated in mid-air. Qin Changsheng stood proudly with a calm expression. The Demon Soul Elder, however, stretched out his hand to cover his chest. Obviously, it was him who had just been hit. This made the disciples of the Scarlet Demon sect a little bit unable to accept it. The Elder Demon Soul's Jinghong Ten Nian technique is only an 8th level combat skill, but it is already the top level among body combat skills. Neither the Qingyun Holy Land nor the Kilian Demon sect has 9th level bodybuilding combat skills. Coupled with the power of the Demon Soul Elder's bloodline, the Golden Winged Bat King, which already has a speed bonus, how could he still lose a move? That guy, what kind of monster is he? Your combat skills are obviously much lower than mine. How is it possible, to be so strong? The hoarse voice of the Demon Soul Elder also came in mid-air, and his tone was full of disbelief. He was the most confident in his own body skills, so he chose to fight hand to hand. Unexpectedly, he was actually weaker. I don't know, how am I so strong? Maybe it's because you are young. Unlike you, old man, you only have bones and no flesh on your body. It hurts my fists. Qin Changsheng said lightly. Of course, Qin Changsheng knew very well. This should be the blessing of his innate destructive spirit body. This physique really did not let him down. The people below had a dark look on their faces. Fortunately, those people in Qingyun Holy Land have seen this ruthless man's vicious mouth before. Everyone in the Scarlet Demon sect had just learned the lesson, and it was a collapse. What you just said is as quiet as a dead pig and as active as a mad dog. We said you don't know how to use words, so bear with it. What you are saying now, we just want to say, is this human language? You don't know why you are so strong, because you are young? And you punched our Demon Soul Elder, and you actually thought that he had no flesh on his body, so your fist hit him? Do you want to be so angry that you will not pay for it with your life? Little doll, I appreciate you more and more. But you are right about one thing. As demonic monks, our character is to retaliate against evil. I remember your punch. In the black robe, the voice of the Demon Soul Elder gradually became colder. A dark light flashed on his hand, and a broad-bladed sword as black as ink appeared in the hands of the Elder Demon Soul. I don't know what material this long knife is made of. As soon as I took it out, I felt a palpitating feeling, and the surrounding temperature seemed to have dropped a lot. Moreover, the handle of this long knife is inlaid with two fangs of unknown ferocious beasts, which gives people a terrifying feeling when looking at it. Buzz. The demonic energy was poured into it, and the long sword made a sound. The fangs of the ferocious beast became whiter and brighter, and suddenly there seemed to be a roar of the ferocious beast echoing. At the same time, the demonic energy around Elder Demonic Soul seemed to be ignited, surging out crazily. Not long after, his whole body was enveloped by the overwhelming demonic energy. Below, the disciples of the Scarlet Lian Demon sect were lucky enough to have the same source of cultivation techniques. Some of the low-level disciples in the Qingyun Holy Land's Qi refining stage couldn't help but tremble in front of this monstrous demonic energy. It's not that they are timid. It was the strong pressure and soul shock brought by the demonic energy that made them uncontrollable. As for Qin Changsheng, looking at the increasingly dense demonic energy in front of him, he joked with his usual expression. It's a bit interesting, don't show it in vain. Everyone has collapsed. This guy is still so irritating when he talks. But you are just irritating, but you are still so arrogant. Others hope that the opponent will be as weak as possible. You are actually afraid that the opponent will not be enough strong. But how did they know? At this time, Qin Changsheng just needed a stronger opponent. Because just now, he suddenly felt something in his heart. He seemed to be about to break through. With his physique, it turned out that he was it's different. I used to be in the third heaven of the flesh and blood realm in the body tempering stage, and I couldn't get up to the fourth heaven even if I tried my best. Now, I'm just fighting, and I'm about to break through. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 36. Buzz. In mid-air, the surging demonic energy covered the sky and turned into mysterious demonic patterns. This world seems to have turned into a magical land, stretching for thousands of miles. The peak masters of Qingyun Holy Land have already activated their true energy shields, covering the disciples of Qingyun Holy Land. Otherwise, the residual power of the demonic energy alone could kill many low-level disciples directly. Many disciples, including the Scarlet Demon sect, also hid within the mountain protection formation to avoid being affected. Not enough. Can it be stronger? Qin Changshen's voice came from mid-air. Everyone was so numb that they didn't want to say anything. This guy is as arrogant as ever. Snored. Wrapped in the demonic energy, the demon soul elder snorted coldly. A shocking sword light also rose into the sky. Under the blessing of magic lines, the sword light distorted the surrounding time and space as soon as it appeared, and beheaded Qin Changsheng head-on. Not strong enough. Still not strong enough. Facing this menacing sword, Qin Changsheng said with some disappointment. He originally wanted to use the blow of the demon soul elder to break through, but it obviously failed. In this case, Qin Changsheng doesn't need to be polite. The great sun god the sword appeared in his hand, and Qin Changsheng slashed out with the sword. He didn't see any qi inspired by him, but among the demonic qi that filled the sky, a red gold sword qi appeared out of thin air. It's like a scorching sun that suddenly rises in the haze. Wherever the red golden sword energy passes, all the demonic energy and demonic patterns disappear. Boom. The red gold sword energy collided with the jet black sword light, the whole world was agitated. Then. Bang. The jet black sword light was directly shattered by a sword. However, the red gold sword energy did not weaken at all and continued to slash towards the place where the demon soul elder was. This is impossible. Elder demon soul, his roaring voice was full of disbelief and unwillingness. This is also the voice of many disciples of the Scarlet Demon sect below. Elder demon soul had just prepared a blow for so long. How could it be like this? Easily, I was defeated by that guy with one sword. With me, nothing is impossible. Qin Changsheng said, and the great sun divine sword in his hand suddenly pressed down. Rumble. The demon soul elder's body had been condensed for a long time, but all of it was instantly shattered by this sword. Between heaven and earth, everything was clear again. The figure of the demon soul elder also appeared in front of everyone again. It's just that at this time, the long knife in his hand has been put away, and the only pair of eyes exposed by the black robe are as red as flames. Baby, you've pissed me off so much. The demon soul elder growled and said something. The next moment, his whole body was filled with golden light. A huge bat, dozens of feet in size, condensed around his body. A pair of fleshy wings were densely covered with golden lines. Astonishingly, he was the one who inspired his own bloodline of the golden-winged Bat King. Squeak, squeak, squeak. A shrill scream of blood came from the mouth of the golden-winged Bat King. Then, the two fleshy wings of the golden-winged Bat King flashed a few times, and disappeared out of thin air with the elder demon soul. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Several more bloody and mournful sounds came. The golden-winged Bat King appears again. Only this time, there is not one golden-winged bat king, but a dozen. But this is not the end. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The golden-winged bat king disappeared out of thin air again, and then reappeared. This time, there are already hundreds of them. All monks below the Danyuan realm have entered the mountain protecting formation. The Demon Soul Elder activated the power of his bloodline and simultaneously used 8th level combat skills, leaving an afterimage like a dream. With the blessing of the two, sound waves can trigger the Sea of Souls, which can cause confusion at the least, and shatter the Sea of Souls into pieces at worst, turning into a walking corpse. Below, Black Widow reminded. Hearing this, some disciples of the Scarlet Demon sect ran desperately into the protective range of the mountain protection formation. On the side of Qingyun Holy Land, dozens of Peak Masters' protective barriers were also stacked one after another. First floor. They regretted a little, letting these disciples follow to watch the fun. Who would have thought that two powerful men with perfect Danyuan realm would appear today, and it would be a shocking battle. In mid-air, the golden-winged Bat King has completed its differentiation. A golden-winged Bat King is already dozens of feet in size. Hundreds of them appeared at the same time, and the shocking scene can be imagined. The entire sky was occupied by these hundreds of huge bats, and the black mass was wider than the spread of the evil energy just now. Qin Changshen was dressed in white and stood under this dark place. He was particularly conspicuous and also very small. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 37. It scared me to death. Just outside, my soul was surging, and I almost exploded and turned into an idiot. Me too. Fortunately, Elder Black Widow's voice woke me up in time. I see how that guy can stop him this time. The bloodline power of the Demon Soul Elder is already powerful, but this afterimage-like attack goes straight into the mind and soul sea, which is extremely dangerous. And with the cooperation of the two, the main body of the Demon Soul Elder can be divided into hundreds of afterimages to attack together, making it impossible to defend against. That's right, even if he can withstand it, the Demon Soul Elder is still invincible in this state. There are so many clones, switching positions at will, even if his sword skills are incredible, he can't keep up. A group of Scarlet Demon sect disciples, seeing the shocking scene in mid-air, were full of confidence in the Demon Soul Elder, while a group of Qingyun Holy Land disciples were hiding under the true energy shields of dozens of Peak Masters, whispering. Tremble. This Demon Soul Elder, with perfect cultivation in the Danyuan realm, coupled with the stimulation of the power of blood, is really too intimidating. Those hundreds of huge golden-winged bat kings occupy the sky, allowing everyone to have it felt like falling into the abyss of hell and being eaten alive at any time. Including Gu Qingxiu, even though she was far away from the place where the two were fighting, she still had to hold up the chi shield with all her strength to be able to resist. Looking at the mid-air, facing this everything was still calm and gentle, with that figure standing proudly. Many thoughts flashed through Gu Qingxiu's mind. The first thought was, this guy is stronger than he thought. From the very beginning, what he thought from the first and second levels of the Danyuan realm to the 9th level of the Danyuan realm, I thought it was already the limit. Now I suddenly find out that I have reached the perfect state of the Danyuan realm and am a powerful quasi-Ki realm. Chapter 2. The second thought is, should I take the opportunity to run away? If I run away, of course it's okay. If I can't run away, and I am discovered by this guy and caught again, with this guy's cruelty, how will he treat me? Kill 100 times. Or, spank. I don't know why, Gu Qingxiu would think of this punishment. Qin Changshen just told concubine Murong that if the little maid disobeys, she will be spanked. Inexplicably, Gu Qingxiu remembered it. Thinking of this, Gu Qingxiu was still inexplicably thinking of that picture in her mind, and her face turned red instantly. Others dare not say that this bad guy will definitely do what he says. In the end, Gu Qingxiu did not dare to run away. And she doesn't know where to run. Qingyun Holy Land has been occupied by this guy. As for concubine Mirong, there was not much emotion. She has absolute confidence in her protector. She was even thinking, whether the demon soul elder could capture that guy alive. This guy named Qin Changsheng looks very funny, and with such cultivation at such a young age, he must have a secret. If he could be captured alive, he would definitely try his best to dig out his secrets. Zhizzy, zhizzy. In mid-air, hundreds of golden-winged bat kings simultaneously let out bloody screams. The war had officially begun. It was different from the random screams just now. This time, the golden-winged bat king's cry was obviously inspired by demonic energy. Every sound wave was actually visible to everyone with the naked eye. The random chirping and invisible sound waves just now made so many people's hearts tremble and their souls surge. The power of this sound wave that is now visible to the naked eye can be imagined. However, everyone feels that the pressure has not increased. Because all the visible sonic attacks were condensed together, with only one target, Qin Changsheng. No one dared to imagine, hundreds of visible sonic attacks blasting into Qin Changsheng's soul sea, how powerful their corrosive power would be. The soul sea of a normal person would probably be smashed into pieces. The speed of the sonic attack is so fast. In the blink of an eye, intertwined sound waves arrived in front of Qin Changsheng. But, facing this, Qin Changsheng couldn't help but laugh. Play sonic attack with me. Sorry, I am the ancestor of this attack method. After saying something with a slight smile, Qin Changsheng's expression condensed, and his whole person suddenly became as powerful as a rainbow. Between his eyebrows, a mysterious pattern flashed. With the appearance of this pattern, Qin Changsheng, the whole person, seems to have produced infinite Taoyun, and every move affects the energy of this world. Pro. Qin Changsheng opened his mouth again. This time, Qin Changsheng's voice was still not loud, and he only said one word, leaving everyone a little confused. But the next moment, everyone was dumbfounded. I saw an ancient word Lin, actually flew out of Qin Changsheng's mouth and condensed in mid-air. Also flying out at the same time was a holy white lotus. The word Lin stands on top of the white lotus. There is a little Taoist rhyme around the whole word, accompanied by the falling of lotus petals. It's as if this word is the eternal and unchanging mantra of heaven and earth since the beginning of the world. And with the appearance of this word, the sound wave ripples that were flying around were all blocked out. Soldiers. Qin Changsheng spoke again and said the second word. This time, what flew out of Qin Changsheng's mouth was not a word, but 108 lotus flowers. Each lotus flower turned into a kind of weapon, and was also infused with the holy Taoist charm. Bang, bang, bang. After this word, those weapons did not touch the surrounding sound wave ripples, all the sound waves had directly dissipated into the air. Below, the disciples of the two holy places were dumbfounded one by one, looking at Qin Changsheng in mid-air in disbelief, including the dozens of peak masters, the elder Black Widow and others. At this time, his face was full of horror, and he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Lotus tongue. This is the posture of the legendary saint. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 38. What happened? How could the demon soul elder's sonic attack be suppressed by this guy just saying a word? Lotus with a charming tongue, my god, there is a spiritual body that defies the heavens in legend. When it is inspired, the Taoist charm will last forever in every movement of its hands and feet, and visions will be added to it. Such a spiritual body is qualified to attain enlightenment and become a saint. This guy actually has such a spirit body. This guy named Qin Changsheng, where did he come from? The demon soul elder's sky-wide attack was defeated casually by him. The gap is too big. In the Kilian demon sect, a group of demon sect disciples who were originally full of confidence in the demon soul elder could not believe what they saw. And the same is true here at Kingyun Holy Land. Whether they are ordinary disciples, it's still the dozens of peak masters, all of them have horrified eyes at this time. This Qin Changsheng actually has a spirit body. That symbol looks like the legendary, top 10 most powerful spirit body, the innately destructive spirit body. What, number 1 among the top 10 most powerful entities? Aren't the saints' innate immortal spiritual bodies the top 10 spiritual bodies? Is this guy's spirit body stronger than the saint's immortal spirit body? The saint's spiritual body is the 6th among the 10 most powerful spiritual bodies. You tell me which one is stronger and which one is weaker. Oh my God, how many trump cards does this guy have that he hasn't revealed yet? The disciples of Kingyun Holy Land are shocked. But those dozens of peak masters, look at me and I look at you, are even more shocked than those disciples. Because they know better than those disciples, what is the fate of this innate destructive spirit body? How powerful? Looking back now, these people are a little scared. I and others actually fought with this guy for a long time. People said at the time that when they were too lazy to kill themselves and others, they still felt that they were being attacked by this guy. The guy was insulted. Now it seems that what they said is the truth. The Danyuan realm is perfect, plus the innate destruction of the spirit body. If you want to kill these people, it is really like killing a chicken and a dog. In addition, the guy said at first that he was just playing with them, just to challenge Holy Lord Kingyun. They people never took it seriously, and said that guy was too arrogant. But now, they have no doubt that Qin Changshen what he is telling the truth. He is the number 1 among the 10 most powerful spiritual bodies, and he really has the capital to transcend a great realm and leapfrog challenges. He turned out to be a spirit of destruction. At this time, Gu Qingxue was equally shocked. The expression on her beautiful face was extremely wonderful. She just said that this guy had refreshed her cognitive limit again and again. She didn't expect that it would be refreshed again so soon. As for concubine Murong, not long ago she was full of confidence in Elder Demon Soul, with a faint smile on her face. She even started to calculate whether Elder Demon Soul could capture that guy. Now, then the faint smile was still there, but it was frozen directly on her face. Although she was still extremely beautiful, there was a sense of humor, especially her delicate red lips, now open, you can fit an egg into it. In mid-air, Qin Changshen looked very calm. He originally wanted to break through the Qi-Si realm with the help of the attack pressure from the demonic soul elder. Later I discovered that the pressure this guy could put on me was not enough to break through. Then he changed his mind and directly activated his innate destruction spirit body, preparing to see the power of his own physique after activation. The result made him very satisfied. He didn't even use any combat skills. He just casually said a few words as a rhythm attack, and he was able to achieve such an effect. Fight. The third word of the 9-character mantra came out of Qin Changshen's mouth. This time, what appeared was not just one word. Instead, a dense group of light spots, like thousands of troops, rushed out from Qin Changshen's mouth, charging toward the hundreds of golden-winged bat kings in the sky. Wait until these light spots rushed to when those golden-winged bat kings were in front of them, they all turned into the word fight. Each one is dozens of feet in size. The golden light was shining with infinite charm, and it suppressed those golden-winged bat kings. Squeak squeak. Hundreds of golden-winged bat kings, as if facing a formidable enemy, let out a very miserable cry, trying to resist the suppression. However, the rhymes in those words were simply not something they could compete with. Moreover, as ferocious beast souls, they are inherently intolerable and restrained by the great ways of heaven and earth. As this rhyme circulates, under the suppression of hundreds of Do characters, hundreds of golden-winged bat kings, red light flashes around them. Their souls are melting and corroding rapidly. It was as if there were invisible laws of heaven that were beating their true spirits and burning their souls. All the disciples of the Scarlet Lion demon sect were raised to their throats in one breath. They knew very well that the souls of these golden-winged bat kings were closely related to the demon soul elders. If the soul body is incinerated by Dao Yun, the power of the demon soul elder's bloodline will also be directly eliminated. Even his cultivation will slowly decline. Don't even think about breaking through to the Qi realm. Bye. Qin Changshen's fourth 9-character mantra came out in a low voice. But, young master, please stop. I am willing to be your little slave girl. Please let Elder Demon Soul go. Murong Concubine's voice suddenly sounded from below. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 39. After hearing Murong Concubine's words, Qin Changshen's expression became stern. He temporarily withdrew his offensive and looked down. At this moment, he saw Murong Concubine looking anxiously into the air, with a look of worry on her face. You actually agreed to be my little maid in order to save him. Interesting, this world is really interesting. You demonic monks are becoming less and less like demonic monks. The people of Qingyun Holy Land are more like demon cultivators than you, no matter what the means. Qin Changsheng said lightly. He really didn't expect that Murong Fei, a little witch, would actually ask her to beg her at this time. After all, she is a saint of the Scarlet Demon sect, and the Demon Soul Elder is her protector. Or, protecting her is a matter of course, and there is no need for any psychological burden. And behind her is the mountain protection formation of the Scarlet Demon section. Even if the Demon Soul Elder is defeated, she can hide in safely. But, she did not choose to do this. Qin Changshen's words were originally meant to tease concubine Murong. But after listening to it, everyone in the Qingyun Holy Land turned pale. Who did we offend whom? What did you do? Are you scolding us? But when they think about how they have squeezed out Qinfen in the past 2 years and waited for the death of the master of Qinfen, they have no words to refute. Besides, even if they have reason to refute, they don't dare to deal with Qin Changsheng, a ruthless man. Non-vegetation, ruthless practice makes perfect. I like to run around and cause countless troubles. As a protector, the Demon Soul Elder has protected me many times. This time, it doesn't matter if I protect him once. Besides, she's just the young master's little slave, and she won't kill me. In fact, when I was almost caught by you just now, I had already thought it through. If I really get caught by you, I will admit it. Because I feel that, young master, you are really interesting. You have done many things that I wanted to do but have not done, such as plundering the saint. Therefore, if the young master can let the elder demon soul go, I will willingly serve as a slave and serve the young master. When the young master goes to snatch the saints from other holy places, the concubine will definitely rush forward, and it is her duty to do so. If one day, the young master is attacked by a group of people, the concubine will definitely be the first to stand in front of the young master. Even if the master really wants the concubine to do other things, the concubine will never give a shit. As concubine Murong said, she actually knelt down in front of Qin Changsheng to show her sincerity. Qin Changsheng was a little confused at this time. This quirky little witch is really interesting. It's quite to his liking. But, why do I feel weird about what you said? I went to rob other holy places, and you took the lead, obligated to do so? Well, you are more interested in robbing the saint than me, I understand. The next sentence came next. Why am I being attacked by a group? Although you said you would be the first to stand in front of me, but why am I being attacked by a group? Can you be more hopeful? Okay. The most important thing is, the last sentence. I ask you to do something else, and you don't hesitate to say anything. What is this other thing? Don't be so vague, it will make me confused. Is it as good as evil? Holy girl, don't. Saint, don't kneel down, this guy isn't worth it. Saint, enter the mountain protecting formation and wait for the return of the Holy Lord, which is when all of our disciples will attack King Yun Holy Land. That's right, the son of a bitch, King Yun Holy Land, didn't know where he moved such a backer, and bullied us while the Holy Lord was away. One day, we will definitely pay for it with blood. In the Scarlet Lian demon sect, a group of demon sect disciples tried their best to dissuade concubine Murong from kneeling down and worshipping Qin Changsheng. But even now, they still believe that Qin Changsheng was found by people from the King Yun Holy Land. This makes a group of people from King Yun Holy Land are showing black streaks all over their faces again. This guy just finished scolding us, forget it, we can't beat him, so we can only endure it. Why do we have to take the blame for him and let you abuse us like this? Our King Yun Holy Land is in bad luck today. But even though they feel so aggrieved to death, they dare not say a word. If they take the blame, they will take the blame, and if they are scolded, they will be scolded. In case they offend Qin, that god of death who lives forever, may even lose his life. Fantasy, I robbed millions of saints. Author, The Dream of a Million Saints. Chapter 40. Saint, no. The voice of the demon soul elder suddenly came from the body of a golden-winged bat king, and he dissuaded concubine Murong. As this voice came, the souls of hundreds of golden-winged bat kings in the sky became weak. The shadow dissipated. Only the body of the golden-winged bat king remained. Boy, I still have one more blow. It depends on whether you can take it or not. The voice of the demon soul elder came from the body of the golden-winged bat king. At the same time, dots of golden light appeared on the golden wings of the golden-winged bat king, and then spread into lines. Finally, the entire golden-winged bat king turned into a dazzling golden color. Sacrificing one's life and golden body. Elder demon soul, please do not use this technique. Below, concubine Murong saw this scene, her beauty turned pale, and she quickly stopped her. 2 lines of tears burst out of Murong concubine's eyes uncontrollably. The life-sacrificing golden body art. Yes. It is said to be the strongest combat skill of the demon soul elder. When used with the power of fused blood, it is more powerful than ordinary 9th grade combat skills. But for this kind of combat skill, he needs to burn his own true energy to perform it. In this life, he can only cast it once. After casting it, no matter whether the enemy is dead or not, he will definitely die. Hearing Murong Feir's words, the Black Widow and a group of demon sect disciples also stared at each other one by one. Split. They also know what it means to cast the life-sacrificing golden body art. As for Qin Changsheng in mid-air, actually, you really don't have to be like this. The gap between us can't be changed by a life-saving combat skill at all. Since your saint has already acknowledged it, why struggle in vain and risk your own life? Qin Changsheng said helplessly. His impression of concubine Murong and the demon soul elder had changed a bit, so he tried to persuade him. Of course. If the demon soul elder insisted on taking action, Qin Changsheng would not be soft-hearted. In the world of martial arts, there is no absolute right or wrong, nor is there innocent life and death. When everyone below heard Qin Changsheng's words, they were confused again, and the scene was chaotic. Especially concubine Murong and those demon sect disciples. When they heard the first sentence, they also said that this god of death actually had a trace of humanity, and he even knew how to admonish the demon soul elders. But when they heard the second sentence, everyone collapsed completely. What does it mean that the gap between you two cannot be changed by a life-saving combat skill? Are you trying to persuade people, or are you trying to discourage them? Or are you praising yourself? Yes, You are indeed very strong, we admit it. You are obviously in the perfect state of Danyuan realm, but you have a natural destructive spirit body, and you can crush the demon soul elder with just one move. But, can you also be a human being? The demon soul elder was forced by you to fight to the death, and you still said such a thing? My demonic soul has been doing things against the will of heaven all my life, why should I be afraid of death? When Elder Demon Soul heard Qin Changshan's words, he didn't have any emotional fluctuations and said in a calm tone. Obviously. He was already determined to die and was preparing to use this attack. As he spoke, Elder Demon Soul said the soul body of the golden-winged Bat King actually increased tenfold. A behemoth, hundreds of feet tall, appeared in mid-air, flashing with dazzling golden light, rendering the whole world golden. Great, I'm looking forward to it. When Qin Changsheng saw this, he didn't talk nonsense. The divine sword of the sun appeared in his hand, and Qin Changsheng faced the golden giant in the air, waiting for it. In his opinion, this was already the biggest threat to the enemy of the demon soul elder. Respect. However, buzz. Just in mid-air, the demon soul elder was about to launch an attack. An invisible ripple suddenly flashed past everyone. It's light and refreshing, like a breeze blowing by. By the time everyone reacted, they were already in a light red barrier with a radius of 100 miles. Field. This is the natal domain that only powerful people in the Qi realm can display. Has a Qi realm powerhouse taken action? How is it possible that there are strong men from the Qi realm nearby? Looking at the color of this field, it looks a bit like the leader of the Scarlet Demon sect, Miru Oxi. She has come back. On the side of Qingyun Holy Land, dozens of peak masters and a group of disciples, after sensing this domain, looked surprised one by one and speculated one after another. On the side of Kilian Demon sect. Master. It's Master's breath, Master's domain. There were still tears hanging from the corners of concubine Murong's eyes, but her face was filled with joy and excitement. Her master is back. Elder Demon Soul no longer has to use the life-sacrificing golden body art.